Good morning, friends. This is Gautham Kolluri from CIP Study Abroad. I'm a regulated Canadian immigration consultant and previously worked in Conestoga College and Mohawk College as the International Students Recruitment Officer. Welcome to the talk, CIP International Graduate Review. Today, I have the pleasure of inviting Abhinav Sharma, one of our CIP students. He applied for a second program in and studied at Canadore College. It was an online program, I guess, right, last year.
Yes.
So Abhinav is from Delhi. Abhinav, welcome to the talk, and thank you very much for giving your precious time in the morning to share your experience. As always, we don't plan these events. If anybody comes in, we provide 24/7 support to our students who are here in Canada and India, and he just came in for assistance regarding this PR, some discussion. So, the first question I always ask is you're an IT professional, you have a full-time job, almost on the way to get your PR, right? You have strong English skills. So was coming to Canada a positive decision? Was it the right decision? What has your experience been here?
Yeah, initially, thank you, Gautam, for having me and allowing me to speak. So initially, when I came in, it was a tough decision when I landed over here because I was giving a full-time job over my in India. Because back in home, I had a good experience with two of the MNCs. So initially, I thought it was a wrong decision or bad decision because you're always dicey when things don't work out, right? But later down the line, when I graduated, slowly and steadily, I made a pace with these things. And when I got a job, right, after graduating, then now it has been improved. I am backing up my decision what I did over there. And since I have got the job, it's a decent job. If I compare the environment over in India and here, it is pretty good. Like right now, it's like 9 to 5, so that means it's 9 to 5. In India, it was never 9 to 5. You may get a call from
Yes,
your manager.
that's the first thing I always ask. Yes. So he just graduated in April, and in July, Abhinav got his full-time job in IT. He's a software developer, right? You're not a business analyst, software development, right? Yes.
Yes, back in India, I was software developer, but again here and I got a job as a business analyst. So it's more of like the same job only. I have to be technical in terms of what I am delivering, but again, I do have now the developers who I'm delegating the work basically. So I'm not exactly developing, but again, the delegation part and the remaining being technical is the key. So yeah, more or less the
Okay.
same, but again,
So
roles and responsibilities differ.
where do you live, Abhinav?
I am situated in Barrie, Ontario. So ever
Barrie is
since
a
I was
nice
in Barrie
place.
only.
It's yes,
Yes.
it is. It's a nice place from the day when I think you were there. So you lived in Delhi, India. I think we have another Abhinav, one of our team members who also just came to Canada as an international student at York. I asked him, Abhinav, what do you feel the difference? He said, Gautam said, the first thing what I feel is the air I breathe. Right,
Yeah,
Delhi is so
true.
polluted.
True,
Right?
true,
I
true.
was actually surprised, like, I never thought about that. He said, that is what I really feel like. I'm finally feel like breathing.
Now,
Yeah.
absolutely, that is true because like the AQI for Delhi is really very bad, and here it's there is no comparison to be honest. Like here the AQI is like 1 or 2, and in Delhi it's very, very, very bad. So yes, yeah, exactly. I echo with the Binaf's point what he was saying, and the AQI is very good. Plus, there are a lot of better things over there, but secondly, but you have to deal with the harsh winter as well. But again, all in all, at the end of the day, we are looking for the job, and if you get a decent job, I would say the things will definitely turn out good. And right now, I'm in a good space, so yeah, that's all good.
Well, you've been through the student journey. I'm 49. I'll be 50 this year. And I started
Nice.
my journey also as an international student when I was 38. So I've been through everything myself. And my first job was with Conestoga College in the international office part time. Then I moved on to Mohawk as the head of South Asia for Mohawk College, international manager for South Asia. So
Nice.
I've been through it as well. So it's always important to prepare all the people for the challenges, right? It's easy from the Instagram to think about the best things, but there is so many challenges. So what are the challenges you had, as a professional moving into study, and what would you advise other prospective students to be successful here in Canada, right? To be ready with the transition, right? I'm not talking about the job perspective, but at least the initial days and also the study part.
Yeah, that's a very diverse topic to talk on. But again, you have to be ready with the challenges in terms of like how you adjust with the situation. Again, monetary expenses are the major expenses that you have to bear. So again, I would say the key is to manage your time basically between your part, because you're obviously going to do a part-time job to manage your financials, right? So to manage your time with the job and also to focus on the study, because I see a lot of students just keep on doing the jobs and all and do not focus on their studies. So at the end of the day, what they are going to face is like they will get failed or get up back in any of the subject, and that's not going to help in the longer run, because now again you have to pay for the expenses for the reappearing of the examinations, and that's not going to help. So it's the basic thing. I would say my 2 cents would be to do a time management effectively between the jobs and the study that you're doing. And one thing I would say is like when you are graduating, or if you have any 4 months of gap in terms of a gap between the 2 semesters, I would say apply for the internship programs, which I did not do obviously. But again, when I came here and I'm working as a full time right now, so I see a lot of students doing a co-op or internship for the mediocre 4 months only. So that's a very good thing. If you get up that one, I see a lot of co-op students or those students getting their job converted into a full time student, which obviously I did not do, because I did have a 4 months gap, but I did not do that. And I think that's a learning that I learned from there. So my advice would be there are a lot of companies hiring for 4 months for the internship program. So keep yourself enrolled in that programs, and you never know that internship will eventually turn on into a full-time job. And as I said, like time management is the key. Yeah.
Very true. Yeah, very true. We've had many students who had co-ops. Not only technical programs usually
Yeah.
have co-ops, yes. And you're saying about time management, right? That is very important. Like
Yeah.
there's, once we finish our school or college, you'll never have time. Yesterday, like I was here in Zoom from 9:15 and I went to bed at 3 a.m. There is no end to the work, right? And
Yeah.
that is very important, time management. So how did you manage your part-time job, your studies, your assignments, and all that?
I mean, eventually it happens, but again, for me, like I did choose a job. That is basically so I used to do only a 4 hours a day only job. I never focused on that 8 hour shifts and all. So I used to do like 4 hours a day only, and that is also was basically I found a job which was managing my school timings, my college timings, and those things. So I used to work in the evening, like from 6 to 10, and after that I used to complete my assignments. In the morning the college timings were there. So basically I never went after the job. I My focus was always on the
That is very
studies and all to
important.
get.
I always remember one of my colleagues, they once mentioned focus on a 100K job and not a 10K part-time. That is what
Yeah,
you are
yeah.
here for. Focus on the big shoot for the stars. How is Barry? You studied at Georgian College and you're living
Yes.
in Barry. How is this place and how was your experience with? We work with Georgian College. It's very nice, and the manager of international recruitment says well, Vinay is a very nice, he's a good colleague. I've known him for 15 years now. So how was your experience at Georgian College and living in Barry?
Yeah, Georgian is pretty good. My first college was Georgian only when I did the big data analytics. Obviously, it's not that vast or diversified in like if you compare with the Toronto or the GTA cities. But again, it's a very nice place, and yeah, all in all, it's very nice. The college was also pretty good. I mean, when I came over here, it was the COVID time, so everything was online. I did not had the privilege of going to college, and plus it was a technical course, so it was all online. But again, Barry is pretty nice because like I have been living in Barry for 2 years now, and I don't see anything. The only thing is like the problem that you may face over here is the transportation, right? If you don't have your own car, then the wait times for the buses and all the other amenities are pretty longer if you compare with the GTA cities, right? Other than that, it's a very peaceful city, and yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah, it's good.
Yeah. See, public transport, because they have to stop at different locations and circle around, it definitely takes longer. So it's good, but once you get into a professional job, you will get a car. As a student, guys, it will be difficult
No,
first
never
2 years to finish, especially in the winter. This winter has not been harsh. December, we almost did not have snow, but today we have a lot of snow. It's a snow day today when my kids are at home, no school. So, but it's 3 months and you'll get used to it. Basically, you don't see people walking out here. They're all driving, and it's not like in India. People, chalo yaar, tel ke aate bahar walking. That doesn't happen here much, right? So yeah, that's interesting. So about your job, like you graduated in April, and by July you already got a full-time job. It has been 2023, 22, and 23 has been a very difficult time with lakhs of massive tech layoff. So you were able to get a job just in about 2 to 3 months, right? There's so many silly YouTubers and Instagrammers talking about why can it's so difficult. Nobody gets job. There are no job. I had one guy in my Facebook group who was saying that Indian students have no jobs. It's such a nonsense. Every day we have our CIP students like you who have graduated and successfully have found jobs and are on their path to PR. So how was your journey in getting your full-time job? How did you accomplish it? Just to understand the reality, the ground reality here.
Yeah. So the key thing to get a job is basically to keep on applying for the jobs. When I say applying, you don't have to be like just keep on applying the jobs. I would suggest like read the exact resume, sorry, the job description, and then tailor made your resume according with the job description. I mean, yeah, you have to adjust your resume in a way so that it gets picked up, because here in Canada, what I've noticed is like there is an ATS system that basically picks up your resume. So if your resume is not getting picked up, how would you appear for an interview? So that is the main thing. You have to tailor made your resume with respect to the job description that is being provided over there. I mean, you don't have to tell lies, but again, you have to adjust your resume in such a way that your resume is stand out enough to be get at
Keywords.
least picked up in the ATS thing, and then after that, it's the interview that matters. I wouldn't say that I landed up a job in the first interview. I gave many interviews, but I never quit applying the jobs. I used to apply like 30, 40 jobs a day. I mean, that may be a huge number, maybe 20 jobs. I don't know. But again, I was always applying for the jobs. I was always appearing for the interviews. One thing in the starting, I noticed that I wasn't getting the interview calls for the first month. But then later I decided that I have to tailor made my resume. And another thing is the cover letter. You also have to include a cover letter based on your job. Make sure you mention, I would advise to mention the job description as well as your resume and how you managed basically in your previous job environment or in the college, right? With the ask that they are asking. So the resume setting up your resume with the job description is the key, and you have to always keep
It's
on
it's
applying.
very. Let me add a point here. So this is the ATS software was just referring ATS. So here, because they receive HRs might receive too many emails, they use the software to scan your resume. So this is a very good one. This is a free one. Optimize your resume to get you more interviews, job scan, and this is another recruitee which. Uh, marketers use as well. So there are many out there. JobScan, I think this is a free version, so you can definitely try this, guys, and see it. But yes, definitely, it's people don't really look into manual these days. HRs they use this software, right, Abhinav? Yeah. So yeah, so it's as I've been, yeah, check, please check every position and also check in the key roles, and that has to reflect in your keywords, right? Yes.
Yes, yes, true.
Okay. So, you know, so that's very important. And second, so you mentioned about 9 to 5. So how is the job culture back home in India and here?
Oh,
And
it's a very big difference, I would say. So initially, if you compare India with over here, so um, technically, if I have a 9 to 5 job over here, I have a 9 to 5. That's it. There nobody's going to push you to log in beyond your working hours, or in fact for the weekend as well. But back in home in India, when I was working for the two of the MNCs, there was never the end. There was always a start time, but I never find an end time for the day. So I used to work like until 10. Um, I mean, when I growed up and there were a lot of responsibilities over me, I was leading a team as well over there back in India. Then there comes a problem. I was being pushed, so I had to push others as well. So that's a culture over there. But again, here in it's not like that. I'm not trying to defame the work culture over in India, but again, this is the difference that I noticed, and I found this is more better in terms of your personal life and managing the professional life. And plus, you don't have to work on the weekends. If it's a holiday, it's a holiday. Doesn't matter. And one more thing that I want to highlight over here is like this Christmas holiday and the New Year season. It was pretty much very good. I feel like I didn't work anything, but back in home in India, I this was the time there was a major load on us, right, in terms of delivering and because the clients were on leave. But right now, it's everybody's on leave, so yeah, the work environment is pretty peaceful in terms of managing your personal life and professional life over here. So yeah, I'm okay with that now. It's pretty good.
One thing I think one of the reasons why we Indians are very successful is there's a saying in Russian. I grew up in Eastern Europe. I speak fluent Russian and Ukrainian. There's a saying is what doesn't kill you makes you stronger. So we Indians have worked under such a pressure, right? From school, from bachpan se, right? सुबह 5-6
हाँ,
बजे उठ के ट्यूशन जाना या प्रिपेयर करना क्लास में कंपटीशन 50-60 people हर महीने monthly test, surprise test, quarterly test, half yearly test, and we have grown under pressure, and we kind of I have no words to say, but very
आप
true as
मैनेज कर
well,
लेते
right?
हो सब यहाँ पे. Yeah.
Exactly right. So one
So
last question now. So what would you advise prospective international students, prospective IT professionals who want to come to Canada, right? Everybody has their individual goals, but what would you advise them to be successful here?
for the international students,
Yeah, international students like you, professionals who want to come here and succeed in getting their
yeah.
set job and PR.
Yeah, I mean, initially I was also, as I started in my when I started, I also mentioned that I was dicey when I came here. But again, at the end of the day, after 2 years, I feel like I'm in a comfortable position after getting lined up on a job. So once you get a job, you will be more comfortable in terms of like adjusting the atmosphere over here in the work environment. So if I count the 2 years over the journey, it will be difficult, no doubt. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be harsh, and you have to manage your financials, time, whatnot. You have to manage. But at the end of the day, when you get up into a job, it will be more comfortable. And if you have to compare the work environment, the work pressure from back home in India, it will be more better. But again, I'm not denying the reality that for the 2 years, initial 2 years, it's going to be a little bit difficult in terms of managing your financials as well as your time management college and all. But again, at the end of the day, we always say that if the result is good, then why not do it, right? So, uh, yeah, it will be good if you come here. And my 2 cents will be there, and plus you have to manage. One more thing that you have to manage is like what you are earning in India and what you will earn in India. Let's say if you are earning very good in India, you are on uh, uh, 25 or 30 lakhs package per in India, then it's pretty good over there. But again, if you are struggling in India, you can come over here, you can find a decent job. Uh, you don't have to convert the currency and then start thinking in that way because that's not how it works. But again, you have to manage and you have to think wisely what you're earning in India. If you're earning in India is less than 20 lakhs, I would say, yeah, you can come here and then start earning over here. But again, if you're earning good, I have seen a lot of IT professionals. When I was there back before 2 years, it was not that good pay. But right now, my friends are getting a 30 lakh package also. That's pretty good, right? But again, yeah, it depends on individual decision. But at the end of the day, if you work hard, you will be successful. That's my 2 cents.
Thank you. Very true. The first thing is you have to understand it's the money quality of life, and
Yeah,
but you are also sacrificing your families, your relatives.
yeah, true.
So I would suggest, like, if you're making less than 12, 15 lakhs, it makes sense. But if you are on the higher end, 25, 30, I wouldn't advise, unless it is more about the quality of life and what if you have travel, you understand just like the basic things like Chinese people say or Delhi people from Delhi say the quality of air, the quality of life, right? That's important. And mentally, it is very important. Guys, remember the 2 years, especially the first two to 3 months, right? When you just land here, it is you are basically your mind is in such a turbulent condition that you don't really know what is happening around you. So that is going to be very difficult. So you have to be mentally strong and focused, right? It is not going to be easy the first 2 3 months, and especially when you are studying, because if you are a working professional, you are making money, and next for the next 2 month 2 years you're back to student, and it's a very difficult journey. I had to go through that myself. So guys, please be mentally focused on being successful. It is a long journey, and as Abhinav mentioned, it's 2 years of your dedication, and only after that, when you get a full-time job, things will fall in. So please educate yourself. Freshers, unless you have very strong English skills, I wouldn't advise you guys to come to Canada immediately after your bachelor's. Please try to get at least 1 to 3 years of work experience. Undergrad students, I strongly suggest not to come, because the PR program, the point-based system is not really geared towards the undergraduate students. Only the PNP would be pathway for these undergraduate students. So, well, so be prepared, and very important, a journey of thousand steps starts with first step, and the first step is choosing a good consultant who can support you in this journey. From your study visa process, it's easy having, there are 20,000 sub agents in India. Getting an acceptance letter is not easy, but when you come here, having the support is important. That is what we CIP are here for. I'm here every day supporting our students. We don't charge any consultation fees. We give discounted services for our students as well. We are here to support you. And guys, if you are planning to apply, CIP or not CIP, please look for a consultancy or an agency who has support in India and can also support you here in Canada. That is very, very critical, because your real journey, your real struggle starts when you land here in Canada. So that's very important. Right. Okay. So, Abhinav, thank you very much for joining this live session and the talk. And, please be in touch with the team. Get your English test as soon as possible. You're
Yes.
almost there on the final lap. So get your English, and I will delegate you one of our team members to take it forward from there. Okay.
Thank you, Gautam, for having me, and I'll reach back to you once I am done with my IELTS test. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
And your credential evaluation for your bachelor's from India. Okay.
That is done. That is done. Best,
That is done, right?
yeah, that I already
Great.
did. The only thing is remaining